breaking news! Things are heating up behind the scenes for the Miami Dolphins, and I have some important updates to pass along to you. Before we go any further, make sure you've hit the like button if you've been a Miami Dolphins fan for over 20 years. If possible, write something like this: Go Dolphins! Don't give up on the playoffs. I really believe we can do it. Now, Miami Dolphins fans have a lot to be excited about, especially when it comes to two standout players who are transforming the team's season, Chop Robinson and Jonnu Smith. These names may not have been on everyone's radar at the beginning of the year, but their performances over the past few weeks have certainly caught everyone's attention and, more importantly, given hope to a team still struggling to establish dominance in the league. Let's dive into Chop Robinson's journey first. Selected with the 21st overall pick out of Penn State, Robinson got off to a shaky start in the first 6 games of the season. Frankly, his performances left a lot to be desired, and fans questioned whether he could live up to the expectations of a first-round draft pick. But something clicked. Over the last 7 games, Robinson has been nothing short of sensational. His stats are impressive: 25 quarterback pressures, 32 rushes, and 4 sacks in that span. Those numbers rank him among the best pass rushers in the entire NFL during that span. To give you a sense of just how dominant he has been, Pro Football Focus ranked him with the 3rd highest pass rush win rate in the league for the season. He's trailing only elite players like Myles Garrett and Trey Hendrickson. More impressively, since Week 11, Robinson leads the NFL in pass rush win rate, surpassing even Micah Parsons, a name often mentioned among the league's top defensive talents. This improvement didn't happen by accident. The Dolphins coaching staff made key adjustments, realizing that their initial approach to using Robinson wasn't playing to his strengths. They had initially tried to mold him into a do-it-all edge player, someone who could not only rush the quarterback but also drop into coverage and set the edge in the run game. However, they discovered that Robinson thrives when he's allowed to focus solely on his natural talent as a speed rusher. His athleticism, burst, and ability to bend around offensive tackles make him a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks, and the Dolphins have finally unleashed him in this role. While Robinson's emergence has been a bright spot, it also underscores a bigger issue. The Dolphins' pass rush as a whole has been underwhelming. Despite Robinson's individual success, Miami still ranks 29th in the league in sack percentage and second to last in total sacks with just 24 on the season. Injuries to key players like Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb have further exposed this weakness. Yet, Robinson's rise offers a glimpse of what could be if this unit gets healthy and fortified in the offseason. With the right additions to the interior defensive line and a potential veteran signing, Miami's pass rush could transform into a top-tier unit next season. Now, let's pivot to the other star making waves, tight end Jonnu Smith. If you're a Dolphins fan, you've likely noticed his impact since the team's bye week. Before that break, Smith was a non-factor in the offense, with little to show in terms of production. But everything changed after the bye. The coaching staff took a hard look at the film and realized they needed to design plays that would maximize Smith's unique skill set, his athleticism, physicality, and ability to create mismatches against safeties and linebackers. Since Week 7, Smith has been on fire, tallying 692 yards, 5 touchdowns, and averaging 69 yards per game. Smith's resurgence has been nothing short of remarkable. Over the last 8 games, he's been one of Tua Tagovailoa's most reliable targets, hauling in crucial receptions and even scoring a game-winning touchdown in overtime just last week. To put his performance into perspective, if you project his post-bye stats over a full season, he would finish with 1,100 yards, 100 receptions, and 11 touchdowns. These are historic numbers for a tight end, and Smith is already closing in on the Dolphins' single-season record for receiving yards by a player at his position. What's even more impressive is the value Smith brings to the team. After being released by the Atlanta Falcons, the Dolphins signed him to a 2-year deal for a modest $4.6 million cap hit next season. For the level of production he's delivering, this contract is an absolute steal. But what does this all mean for the Dolphins' future? Smith's emergence has added a dynamic element to the offense, giving Tua another dependable weapon alongside star receivers. Meanwhile, Robinson's growth solidifies him as a cornerstone of the defense. Both players represent a new wave of talent that could help Miami turn the corner as they look ahead to 2024. The question now is whether the Dolphins can capitalize on these individual successes to build a more complete and competitive team moving forward. What do you think, Dolphins fans? Are Chop Robinson and Jonnu Smith the keys to unlocking Miami's full potential? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's take a closer look at what these two players mean for the broader picture of the Miami Dolphins. Starting with Chop Robinson, his sudden rise as an elite pass rusher isn't just a feel-good story. It's a lifeline for a defensive unit that has struggled to impose its will on opponents all season long. The Dolphins' pass rush, even with Robinson's contributions, has been the Achilles heel of their defense, ranking second worst in total sacks and near the bottom in sack percentage. Miami's inability to consistently pressure opposing quarterbacks has put immense strain on their secondary and the team's ability to close out games. But here's the silver lining. Robinson is just a rookie. What we're seeing now is only the beginning. His ability to dominate in the latter half of the season suggests that he's learning and adapting to the speed of the NFL at an impressive rate. With an offseason dedicated to refining his technique and building on his newfound confidence, Robinson has the potential to become one of the most feared edge rushers in the league. And for Miami, that could be the foundation of a defensive renaissance. Looking ahead, the potential return of key players like Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb adds another layer of excitement. Both are proven talents when healthy, and their presence would undoubtedly take some pressure off Robinson, allowing him to thrive even more. Combine this with the possibility of bolstering the defensive interior through the draft or free agency, and the Dolphins could quickly turn a weakness into one of their greatest strengths. On the offensive side, Jonnu Smith's breakout has been a revelation. Tight ends often take time to find their rhythm in new systems, but Smith's transformation post by week is nothing short of extraordinary. What makes him so valuable is his versatility. Whether he's creating mismatches in the middle of the field or making big plays after the catch, Smith has emerged as a game changer for Miami's offense. Think about this. Smith's 692 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns already put him in elite company among NFL tight ends this season. If he continues this pace, he's not only set to break franchise records, but could also solidify his place as one of the top tight ends in the league. And remember, all of this is happening under the radar of one of the most team-friendly contracts in the NFL. For less than $5 million in cap space next year, the Dolphins are getting Pro Bowl-level production. That kind of efficiency in roster building is rare and could be pivotal in freeing up resources to address other areas of need. Let's not overlook what this means for Tua Tagovailoa and the offense as a whole. Having a reliable, athletic tight end like Smith opens up the playbook in ways that weren't possible earlier in the season. Defenses now have to account for Smith in the middle of the field, which creates more opportunities for big plays from wide receivers and the running game. It's no coincidence that Miami's offense has found more balance and explosiveness since Smith became a focal point. As we inch closer to the end of the season, it's worth reflecting on how these individual performances fit into the bigger picture. For all the criticism that general manager Chris Grier has faced over the years, his decisions to draft Chop Robinson and sign Jonnu Smith are starting to look like masterstrokes. These moves demonstrate not only an eye for talent, but also a willingness to adapt and build around the unique strengths of each player. For the Dolphins to fully capitalize on this momentum, they'll need to ensure that these individual successes translate into team victories. That means continuing to develop Robinson as a cornerstone of the defense while building a pass rush around him. It also means maximizing Smith's role in the offense and ensuring he remains a key piece of Tua's arsenal. But here's where you come in, Dolphins fans. What do you think the future holds for Chop Robinson and Jonnu Smith? Can they be the building blocks that take Miami to the next level? And what other moves do you think the team needs to make to turn potential into consistent success? Let us know your thoughts. We want to hear from you.